Is RV living really cheaper than a sticks and bricks in a neighborhood, the way of life? I have to tell you, I was a CPA for 20 years, many years ago. I'm a lot older now, but I've been RVing for about 30 years or living in an RV for about 30 years. And what I can tell you is, based on my experience over all of those years, that it is wholly contingent upon your lifestyle. You can't really compare yourself to anybody else that's out there on the road. People will give you their budgets and show you what it is now for them, but for you, it may be totally different. So, if you start looking at the cost of a home, property taxes, insurance, maintenance on the home, you see that it is expensive to live in a home. I mean, well, I say expensive. It's probably not that bad. If you have a $500,000 home and you have zero income, then you got a problem. You'll need to get a tent. Okay, but if you're just gonna if you retire and downsize, from a large sticks and bricks to a moderately sized RV, then yeah, you'll probably come out better. But it again, and then you look at how you're situated financially. Is your income mainly Social Security, or do you have other investments that provide you a good income? And a lot of people uh, don't have much after, or just Social Security. So anyway, just bear in mind that when you're watching these YouTube videos, including mine, where people show budgets, and I'm sure I did in the past, but it's all again based on what you want to do. If you boondock, yeah, you're going to come out better. I can't think of a situation where you wouldn't. If you're staying off grid all the time, which you can do now, you totally can do it. You're going to be living about as cheap as you can live. But then you have to ask yourself, what's the point of living cheaply if I'm miserable? I mean, think about quality of life in there somewhere. I mean, you want to be warm in the winter and you want to be cool in the summer. And, and there are places you can go in your RV that, you can beat the heat and beat the cold. And, yeah, but overall, it's a big question mark whether you individually are going to be much better off financially in an RV as compared to a sticks and bricks. And then you have to think about, if you're older like me, you have to think about, even though I don't have any medical issues now, as I grow older, there's probably a good chance I might. So I've moved to an RV park in Llano, Texas, and I live there full time in an RV that I bought that I can't tow. They towed it over there and parked it in the RV park for me, and I don't plan to tow it because my little Maverick pickup will only tow about 4,000 pounds. And this RV I bought, it's a Rockwood Mini Light 2520 bunkhouse model, which is great for me. And but yeah, living in an RV park, well, it cost me $500 including all utilities. Could I live cheaper in a home? Well, it just so happens that I do have a two-bedroom home in Fort Clark Springs, and with the Property Owners Association fee, utilities, electricity only, it's all electric, and taxes, I don't carry insurance on it at all. I don't have any reason to. If it goes away, I just don't worry about it, sell the lot. And but so all of those numbers for the home in Fort Clark add up to about $400, well, $350 a month for everything. My taxes are minimum because I have a what do you call it, a exemption for something in Texas, or they probably have it all over the United States. But so my taxes only run about what $25 a month, approx. You know, so it's not bad at all. Not bad at all. So compare that with 500 a month, everything paid. I mean, I've got my place for sale right now. I have two places, and I'm trying to sell the place in Fort Clark Springs and just live full time at the RV park. But again, I talked about RV parks in another video. You know, you can win the lottery and it'll be a great place, or you can win the lottery and it'll be a bad place. But as far as budgets, you know, if you're sitting at home and you and your wife are contemplating selling the farm and buying an RV and going to live the quote good life, well, bear in mind that the good life there's a lot of illusion there. You know, you have to find a place to stay. You still have, if you're going to be moving from point A to point B frequently, you know, you're going to have to plan your route, buy gasoline, maintain your unit or whatever. It depends on what kind of unit you have. But whether it's a travel trailer or a motorhome, you still got expenses. You still got insurance, you know, and you still got gasoline for the vehicle, whatever it happens to be. And yeah, the budgets are going to go all over the place. You know, if you eat out a lot, that makes a difference. If you stay in resorts. But enough said about all that. The point of the video is, for those of you that are contemplating going on the road full time, or maybe you just started and you're wondering why your budget doesn't match Hoopty Doopty Hoo RV channel on YouTube, well, it's because they live a different life than you. Everybody is different. And whether it's one or two people, or if you have animals to take care of and all that stuff, all that adds a little flavor to your budget, so to speak. And you know, I've had people have asked me for recommendations on what type of RV they should purchase, or you know, what kind of budget they might plan on for RV, and no one can tell you that. You have to do that all on your own. You know, you have to go to RV dealers and check everything out, see what works best for you and your personal situation. So I'm not much help, am I? No, I didn't want to be. I mean, I just wanted to give you some facts that your budget is going to be your budget out on the road. Could it be less than what your outgo is now? Sure. Could it be more? Yeah, it sure could. It would surprise me. You know, it depends on if you do a lot of driving and you stay in resorts, then there's a good chance you're going to spend a lot of money. You know, because gasoline, you know, you figure you're going to get, let's just use 10 miles to the gallon as a rule of thumb. Well, you multiply that by, say, I don't know, let's just say you're really on the road, you do 1,000 miles a month. Well, that's 100 gallons. There's $300 or $400 in gasoline right there. But enough said, guys. The good news is when you get out on the road in an RV, there is a lot of things to enjoy. I mean, variety for some people is the spice of life. For others, it's total misery. You know, some people, you know, we are all prone to like predictability. You know, we want to know where the gas station is that's got the cheapest gas, you know, where the grocery store is, and all that stuff. And, you know, some ladies are going to want to be near their grandkids if they have any, or other kids or whatever. You know, and the guys may not be too turned on by all that, but so, you know, you got a little stuff to think about there. But be that as it may, from on the road here, Highway 29, going to get some stuff from the grocery store on what is this, a Wednesday morning coming down, December the 3rd? Yeah, but anyway, 2025. Yeah, enjoy your life. Stand guard at the door of your mind. And if you choose the RV way of life as opposed to the sticks and bricks, neighborhood stuff, then, you know, you'll find out quick enough. And if it doesn't work out and you still have enough in the bank or whatever to get back into it, go right back home. Changing your mind is not an issue. It's your mind, your life, and if you have to change it 50 times to find out what you really want to do after retirement, then do it. I mean, there's no rules out there. So anyway, guys, enjoy your life. Adios. Bye-bye. Use the Amazon link if you want to jack with it.